a little bit teaching again, and then meditation. Meditation for 1 hour this time. No. You know, when you go to like Zen center, you know, usually like they say, just to sit. That's it. That's your teaching. There's no teaching, no, that's it. That's your teaching. That's your meditation, everything. Just to sit in hours and hours and hours. So powerful. Just to sit. That's it. Whole teaching. Mindfulness, awareness, everything's there. But people usually don't understand what that means. Just to sit, then what? Right? But we'll not do that. Maybe 10 minutes. So when you meditate on mindfulness, when you have lots of these distractions, then it is very helpful and it is necessary to focus on the breath. Meditators, usually meditators use the breath, for their objects, a lot. Because the breath exists only in the present moment. I think that's the reason. So if you think deeply, when I say think deeply, means like using your awareness and think deeply about your life right now. Right now means like this very moment you have. This very moment that we have, it's actually in the between past and future. So this is the most important moment that we have. So when we talking about mindfulness practice, we really think deeply and talking about this moment. And what you do and how you handle this moment is all that matters. But most of them, we are not aware of it, right? Because we have lots of distractions. So therefore, focus on breath. It's because the breath exists this very moment. So if you're really completely, like 100% focused on your breath, then you are in this moment. But usually we don't remember, and we don't recognize these truths. For example, as I said, the truth of this precious human life, the truth that all things are impermanent, the truth that all dharmas, all phenomena are empty of self-existence, the truth that, the enlightenment is beyond distractions, etc., so on and so forth. But because of the distractions, we forget these truths. So again, I'm talking about the mindfulness, right? So for example, you have to sort of, think about this very deeply. Are you aware of what is happening in this moment? Are you aware that you are breathing, actually? We're always breathing, but we're not aware of it, right? We're not aware. We are always breathing, means like this moment, present moment. We always forget. So breathing is a very powerful symbol of being alive. It means you are experiencing your breath, which is experiencing your life constantly. Because if you stop breathing, then you're dead, right? So when you begin to notice that you are breathing, it brings you back. So there is a connection to your life. And this really helps your meditation. The movement of breath, the experience of the body, thoughts, and your mind all take place simultaneously. So you don't need to stop breathing when you think, right? The mindfulness of mind is like sunlight simultaneously reflecting everywhere. It's very a natural thing. When you practice meditation on mindfulness, you are making a connection with everything. For example, when you sit down and meditate, actually you're making a connection with everything. So when you sit down on your cushion, you're making a connection with your cushion, with your body, right? Body, with your, of course, mind, and with everything. So that is your meditation. So what is meditation? The practice of meditation is a process of training. But this doesn't mean that immediately sort of develop or have success. And the teachers always say when you meditate, the meditators, will say, you should expect lots of challenges. And you have to be willing to go through this whole process. So meditation is important. Meditation is not so easy, but meditation is not so difficult. It depends how you do it. So meditation is the best sort of tool, the method, to develop our attitude, everything. Meditation is getting to know yourself by examining your personal sort of relationship. And it is important you start with very simple methods, such as sitting and then breathing. It's very simple, but it's very, very profound. So these are, nothing special. These are just natural things. Because, we all have to breathe, right? We all have a mind. So these natural things are the starting point of developing mindfulness and awareness through the practice of meditation. So you don't need anything. You just need you and breath. Your breath is there, actually, So if you think like every breath that you take is a gift in your life, naturally pure and always with you, right? So you need to develop yourself over a period of time and keep your commitment. It is important to stick with the practice and follow the instructions that you receive. So meditation is important, and then all these things also are very important. How you do meditate. So you have to think about how you build a bridge between the sitting practice of meditation and meditation in action and mindfulness everyday life. Because you act every day. We act every day, right? So action without mindfulness, awareness. Teachers say, like, without you act all the time, and action without the mindfulness awareness, like planting a dead tree. It's like nothing grow. Dead, never grow. So you can develop your peacefulness through the practice of mindfulness. So the basic point of mindfulness is to be completely in touch with what happens in your mind, in your body. So we have mind, we have body. That's it. To understand what is the relationship between body and mind. What is, what happens, So the technique of meditation, mindfulness meditation, is associated with the development of peace. Peace is very important in our life, but it doesn't. Without meditation, how you get peacefulness? You hold a flag and then says peace. I'm a nice sign, right? But it doesn't work. You have to sit and meditate. What is meditation? Mindfulness. That's the thing. When you meditate on mindfulness, then you develop this, what do you call it, peace. Therefore, we call it, you know this, right? Peaceful living meditation. They say peaceful, because when you focus on this moment, everything is very peaceful, and everything is very gentle. So that's why this meditation, sometimes mindfulness meditation, but the teachers say, peaceful living meditation means like peaceful means like there's no distractions. And of course, the awareness brings the recognition, right? Recognition is the clear mind. It's a wisdom. It's your wisdom. So as long, when you like develop your awareness, then you develop, actually you see this clarity, this wisdom. So then what happened about this, like forget or don't understand the truth, which is the ignorance, right? So you diminish ignorance, because now you're aware of everything. So you're aware of everything, then you don't make mistakes. Buddhist point of view, everybody make mistake because the ignorance, the distraction. So there's not clarity. There's not much wisdom. So therefore, I think, what do you think? I think these two meditations, mindfulness, awareness, is very amazing. So we're very fortunate. We're very lucky, and we have this technique or whatever method, or whatever you call it. We have this. But the thing is, you have to meditate. That's it, right? You have to meditate. In order to meditate, you have to understand the value of this meditation. That's why today, I want to teach you about the benefits and the value of this meditation as much as I can. We should read the Way of the Bodhisattvas, the Shantandeva's book. There are 2 or 3 chapters actually about mindfulness and awareness. That's all. When I was 12 years old, I studied this book, and that's why that's the first teaching. My teachers, the first teaching was the Way of the Bodhisattva, because the mindfulness and awareness, the most important. Whatever you do, worldly, spiritually, without mindfulness, awareness, doesn't work. I can't teach you like comprehensively for like this short time, like just one day. No way. Mindfulness, awareness is everything, right? So, but as much as I can. So, but I want you to understand how important or the value of this meditation, mindfulness, awareness. Mindfulness brings you the peacefulness or peace, and the awareness gives you the wisdom. So through these meditations, you can diminish all these distractions, which is the enemy, which is the obstacle for practitioners like us. So these are relaxation and recognition. All these are the antidote, antidote to negative emotions, actually, because it's called, it's called self-knowing wisdom. So you actually can see when people act how much of mindful mind they have. When people who have a peaceful mind, their actions are very gentle. Whether they eat, speak, or walk, or whatever, very gentle. Not like jumping over there and there, like not Like, their actions very gentle. So it's you can see actually, and gentle action, beautiful, right? It's important, right? Usually gentle actions don't harm others. That's the thing. That's the thing. And not harming other is the practice of love and kindness, right? I mean, that's we call it, not harming other. That is the love and kindness. So, for example, when you speak, if your mind is very gentle and mindful, you will not have distractions that makes you forget the truth. So when my root teacher Kanchen Pamatsewa, when he taught the way of the Bodhisattva, these two chapters, the first is mindfulness and awareness chapters. When he always said that, if you practice mindfulness and awareness, then everything transforms into great gentleness without confusion. He's when he walks and speaks, so gentle and very humble human being. And he always say, like in Tibetan we say chilo, means my dear, like I don't know, means like very like, means like you always, I keep your meaning, like chilo means like I love you, and I means like you are in my heart, always like that. He said chilo, like it's a very gentle way, like it's so gentle, because I don't think he never lose this mindfulness and awareness. So always, like whenever he said, like whenever he looked like not like this, he always like very gentle and always look just in front of there. And then when he speak, he just really, really speak you. Like people are like who have no mindful, and then they just sometimes they're talking, but they're not really talking from the bottom of their heart. They just talk and talk. Sometimes people say, "Oh, I love you." That means nothing, right? Like it's not come from your heart. You just say it. I mean, that's not bad, but gentle action is very important. Gentle action, whatever you do, or your act is just real, not fake. It's real. So when you hug, or when you kiss, or when you say something with a gentle action, it's true. It's real. It means a lot, I think. So therefore, when you, as long as you develop your mindfulness, you are, everything sort of, transforms into this gentleness, So then the gentleness, what is gentleness? Gentleness helps you that keeps you in the moment, present. And your actions will be gentle and without any, mistakes. Gentleness, gentle action means like you are paying attention to these things, right? Whatever you're doing. That's why your action is so gentle, because there's no confusion. You are actually, what you are doing. So, in order to have this, unmistaken attitude, we need, develop mindfulness and awareness. They are very important. But the point is, again, you can't get this kind of peace or gentle, without playing discipline. Self-discipline is very, very important. So Dharma practitioners, these are very important. Patience and discipline, these two actions, very, very important. Be patient with your practice, be patient with your worldly activity. That's the thing. In order to do that, you need discipline, right? In order to have both patience and discipline, you need mindfulness and awareness. Because without mindfulness awareness, then you can't do. Somebody try to hurt you, then there is you forget the truth again, because there's distractions. Oh my goodness, very irritable. So you get angry right away. You do something. So without discipline, then we have what do you call it? The wild mind, untamed mind. Untamed mind. That's without discipline. So that's like teachers always, and the way of the Bodhisattva, always they give you like a knowledge, like example, a wild elephant. They always say that, if you have a wild elephant, then they say you need an elephant trainer, So the mind is like a wild elephant. Wild elephant is actually destroy, because they are very powerful. Destroy your house, destroy the trees, everything, right? So if you have like wild mind, then you destroy everything. So mind is like untamed mind is like wild elephant, and then the mindfulness is the rope that ties the elephant. And you see, the awareness is like the elephant trainer, watching whatever the elephant does, right? That's the Shantadeva's instruction, Our untamed mind is like wild elephant. Then you need rope, because you have to tie the elephant. That's your mindfulness. Then you need elephant trainer, which is your awareness, because then you understand what is going on. So mindfulness is keeping the mind in a place, and awareness is watching what is happening. You should make sure that you really understand what is different between mindfulness and awareness. Mindfulness is being focused on something. And then if the mind does stray, but you have awareness, then you know that it happened, and you can set it back again. So maybe this, I don't know, you can be completely focused but have no recognition of what you're doing, maybe. That is having mindfulness without awareness, I guess. Or you can be doing many different things where your mind is wandering all over the place, but you know exactly where it is going each time, then you have kind of awareness, but no mindfulness. And if your mind stays calm and you notice any movements, then you have both mindfulness and awareness. So you see, mindfulness is the stillness of mind, and awareness is knowing that it is still, it is calm. So one way, they're different, but the other way, they are kind of same. If you have mindfulness, maybe you have awareness. So you can think, you can understand the difference between mindfulness, awareness through your experience. When you meditate, mindfulness, awareness, probably you will see, okay, this part is mindfulness, this part is awareness, but then you are thinking, right? Then you are thinking. Then again, you have distraction. So your thoughts, like pop up one thought there, another pop up there, and then these thoughts are gone. You have no idea. And then you're followed there, and then another there, like that, But mindfulness makes you really like relax. So no matter how long you're going to meditate, try to meditate with mindfulness and awareness. So, for example, you practice preliminary, you practice whatever, shamatha, you practice whatever. Are you really pay attention to this and that? See, you need whatever, you practice bodhicitta, refuge, whatever, you need mindfulness awareness. Otherwise, your meditation is very hard, very difficult. So try to meditate, whatever, try to meditate mindfulness and awareness. Not only meditation though, whatever you do, you act. Every day we act, So, act with mindfulness and awareness. Generally, there are many different stages of meditations. For example, the first stage is the development of basic mindfulness and awareness, right? At this stage, you should focus on your breath, for example, like we just did, right? And see, you can practice like individually or in a group. So you can do this practice at any time. You can do this practice. You can do this practice when you are working in your office or restaurant or your house, or because I think this practice is very convenient, and very simple, because you don't always have a lot of time to attending like meditation programs like this, right? You don't have time. You're always busy. But this kind of meditation you can practice anytime. Like you don't have to say meditate, I'm meditating, or practice. Just to be mindful or be aware. That's first stage. That's the first foundation. And then another foundational mindfulness practice is because being mindful of the mind itself. So this is very important for practitioners. Be mindful of the mind itself. This is a little bit deeper meditation, right? So in order to do this, there are few methods of resting the mind. Because being mindful of the mind itself, first you need relax, rest in the mind. So first you have an instruction for this practice called resting the mind. Resting the mind. You know this. You heard this from me like many, many times, right? Resting the mind. That is the first instruction. You know this, you heard this many times, but that doesn't mean your mind is resting. Your mind is maybe not always resting, right? So you need to sort of meditate on this resting the mind. Rest in the mind, we can't rest in the mind because, again, because of all of these distractions. So rest in the mind is a good method. So this method is the cultivation of mindfulness and awareness. So the rest in the mind part is trying to identify with the breath, rather when you focus on your breath. It doesn't mean that your mind is necessarily without any thoughts, but rather simply that it doesn't have to be in a constant state of agitation. So the key is just rest the mind for as long as you are able. And when you can clearly be aware of this calmness and rest, we call it rest in the mind. Rest in the mind. So this is easy to understand through your experience. Rest in the mind. Doesn't mean very long, but maybe short, maybe 1 second, maybe 2 seconds, maybe 1 minute. Just rest in the mind. That's first. You have to look in for. You have to, keep this instruction. First, what you need in order to practice mindfulness, rest in the mind. And then second instruction for this practice is called continuous resting. That's it. Continuous resting. So you have reached the next stage when you can slightly prolong this state of rest. You just continue the practice of mindfulness by staying with the object of meditation. So, how you do it? Continue resting means if the mind is sort of distracted by agitation, you just recognize that. You just recognize that and then return to the breath. As I said, maybe you have to return. Maybe you have to come back like 10 times. Maybe you have this you have to keep in your mind. Because otherwise people say, oh, try to rest in your mind and you can't. And then all over. So you are not trying to recognize and you're not trying to bring it back, right? So don't sort of lose your, enthusiasm, right? So you have to like, okay, this is what I need to do. Like bring it back, bring it back, bring it back, come back, come back, come back. So this is what we call continuous resting. How you do continue? So once you're a little bit, like let's say 1 second, very relaxed, rest in your mind, right? Rest in the mind. Then you have thoughts. Now, how you do? Continue to rest. As soon as you recognize your thoughts, they are gone. They're gone. And then bring your mind back. So that's how you do, continuous resting. So this practice is what allows you to understand what is going on in this moment, because there is a recognition. So these two methods in this practice of meditation, rest in the mind and continuous resting, these two methods work with how you directly feel your experience. You really experience, you're going to experience, like if you do like rest in the mind and continue rest, then you experience everything. This experience, that's not your goal, right? You have experience, but that's not your goal with meditation. But this experience gives you a little bit like, what do you call it? Excitement, like, like enthusiasm, oh, nice, very relaxed. And then sometimes you feel that if you're really good about mindfulness awareness, then sometimes you say, oh, I can do this like forever. I can do this. I don't need to eat. I don't need to talk or whatever. This is so comfortable. And it's just, I like it. So just I can do this continuous. So sometimes you have that kind of, that's just experience though. But that happens. So that's very nice, So because this practice, the benefit of this practice, so resting, now we have two things, rest in the mind, continue to rest in. You see, for example, like I can say like rest in the mind is mindfulness. Okay, mindful. This part is mindfulness. Rest in the mind is like mindfulness, but it doesn't mean that there is no awareness, but the main focus is like mindfulness. And then you can see the continuous resting is being aware of the resting and continuing it. This part is like awareness, Once again, it doesn't mean that there is awareness, no mindfulness, but it just means the focus is your awareness instead of mindfulness, because your mindfulness already there a little bit. So this combination practice helps your mind to become very stable. Very stable. That would be really nice. Flexible, workable. Your mind means like really tamed, not like wild mind. So then your mind is very flexible. become like a very good yoga teacher, very flexible, your mind be a lot very, whatever you want stay, your mind stay. If you want to think or investigate or something, your mind can do that. So then this is the thing, stable mind. And based on that stable mind, then you can develop other great experience. If your mind is not stable, then you cannot develop other this experience, other qualities. So for example, you can develop, once your mind is very stable, then you can develop the experience of love and compassion. Love and compassion, very difficult develop with an untamed mind, a wild mind. Very difficult. Love and compassion is like, it's very gentleness. So once your mind is very stable, then you can develop experience of love and compassion. You can develop the experience of emptiness, of course. You can develop experience of clarity. You can develop experience of the nature mind, etc. based on this stable mind. If your mind is not stable, you can't have these things, emptiness, nature mind, which are very important, essence of the enlightenment. But if your mind is not stable, you cannot, because love and compassion, so important. But your mind is untamed, you can't have love and kindness. To me, it's like as soon as I heard the name of love and kindness, I can feel like the gentleness. So if your mind is not stable and your attitude, your actions not gentle, then no way, there is no love and kindness. Then you have what you call it, that's Buddhist called fish love, okay? That's it, you have love, fish love. I love fish means like you want to eat it. So that doesn't mean you really love fish. That's not your love. Fish love, okay? If you have a stable mind and then you have experience of love and compassion, that's genuine love and kindness, not fish love, So see, I think stable mind is so important. So see that's the goal, and the Buddhist teachings. Getting to know your own mind is the key thing. You know why? The reason is very simple, because everything that you experience is discovered within this mind. Either relative mind or ultimate mind. So everything you will discover within this mind. That's why in Buddhism, the teaching about mind, perfect, amazing. Definition of mind, how to tame the mind, how to work with mind, everything, very rich. That's why they call it Buddhist. One there is a science, right? Science. Buddhist one is like science. It's a mind, about mind, everything. The teaching is very comprehensive, teaching about mind. Because, Buddha discovered that, everything, all this experience you can discover within this mind. So the mind is, they call the experiencer of each moment of your life. So that's the goal. You meditate, your goal is to find out the truth. Maybe we don't know who we are. Until you find out the truth, then you know who you are. This is just like basically we are in the dream. That's not who you are. It's like it's not true. So when you understand the truth, when you not forget the truth, then you know who you are. And then you know what is your life. What is for your life? And now this is very important to know. In the practice of the mindfulness of mind, if you try to find the special magical experience of mindfulness, as you look harder and harder that, you begin to lose the sense of mindfulness altogether. That's why I always say, let go your expectations. Just keep going. So you have to give up that idea and that expectations. So you have to know that being tied to that expectation of experience is another sort of chain that binds you. It's another form of attachment. This happens to many times, like to the even like good practitioners. Longchenpa's teaching, remember that the goal of your meditation is understand the truth, not to get sort of certain or special experience. So you have to shed those expectations. They're really good experience, right? So that's why the teacher says, it's good experience, but they're like a golden chain. It binds you. It doesn't matter. It's gold. It doesn't matter. It binds you. It's another form of attachment, So just let go of that expectation. This experience, they might appear nice, but they still bind you. As long as your mind is is not free, then it's difficult to find the stableness, what do you call it, the calmness, gentleness. So therefore, the practice of mindfulness is very important. Otherwise, we cannot stop our distractions. Through meditation, you build up a stable mind and a good habit of the mind. And then not only you're mindful of your breath and your thought, but you're also fundamentally aware, and your experience becomes very true. And at this point in your journey on the path of mindfulness, everything in your life become teachers say, then meaningful. That's all. That's all. Mindfulness and awareness is wonderful. You can call them like methods or technique or whatever. It's really good, but we have them. If we don't have them, it's very difficult to to get them from someone else. But we have them. We just need to recognize. Just need to use them. Try to remember this moment, not forget it. Okay, so again, meditation. So again, what I said is that whatever method we use, meditation is simply getting to know your mind. So we did last time we did most like mindfulness, right? Meditate on mindfulness. Of course, there is awareness, but this time I would like you to practice on awareness. So the teacher said, when you meditate awareness, the instructions is recognize your distractions and let them go. That's the instruction for your awareness meditation. But first of all, you should focus on your breath and meditate on mindfulness a little bit, because from my experience, I think meditating on awareness right away is a little bit difficult, So once your mind has settled down, then easy to meditate on awareness, right? So whenever you focus on your breath, that's actually everything, but like good preparation. So you focus on your breath for a minute, whatever. And just try to relax there. Exactly what we did last time. Just focus on your breath and then try to relax there. And then you should focus on your more sort of your awareness. Now you see, you understand, right? You understand what is awareness. What is your awareness? So turn your attention to the clarity of awareness of your mind and recognize your distractions and let them go. But sometimes people say, okay, let them go. Means like what? How? How, right? How do I let them go? But actually, as soon as you recognize that you have distractions, then they're gone. Try to relax there. Means like don't follow. They're like, coming and going. Don't follow. That's how you let them go. You doesn't have to say, oh, go away, you just relax and recognize that, okay, I have distractions. and then try to relax there. That's how you let them go. So which means like you are letting your distractions, Buddhist-like terminology, like, say like dissolve your distractions, dissolve into, we can say, this clarity of your awareness. Does it make sense? And recognizing that experience is nature of awareness. That's it. That's how you let them go. So recognize that your experience of this nature awareness. So then there is mindfulness already there, and also that's how you let go. And then again, remember, rest, continuous resting means like concentrate on that as much as you can. That's people say, right? When you meet, concentrate on that as much as you can, means like try to continue rest in the mind. So do that, do that sort of exercise over again if you need to, right? Some people are just relaxed, like then you're relaxed. Like you are there. You are there and you have no thoughts for maybe many minutes. Like that. If you're really like stable, sometimes you want to think, because now without thinking very long time, so now I want to think. Otherwise, you really do that. You can do that. So So this in this meditation, the point is that you can bring a sense of clarity and wisdom into your experience. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because you have recognition. You recognize that you have distractions, and then you are try to relaxing with mindfulness. So that is your awareness practice. Do you understand? To understand again, to recognize, to understand the distractions, so important. Because many times, I have this experience when I start meditate, okay, let's say teachers say, let's say meditate on 15 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. So then I try to meditate. Okay, teachers say, okay, now. They always ask at the end of your meditation, ask questions, like that. And then, oh my God, I did not meditate at all. Thinking, 10 minutes or whatever. So I didn't notice during that time. During the meditation. I'm just thinking. So that's why, I didn't recognize that time, didn't recognize that I had distractions. But after, teacher asked me, and then I investigate and think about my mind is all over. So that means like you don't see sometimes if you don't see. That's why the recognition is very important. That's why awareness is so important. Otherwise, sometimes you really thinking, and you are not aware of that you are thinking. You're thinking, actually, your first motivation was like, okay, I'm going to meditate mindfulness. And then you're thinking about, okay, what should I eat for dinner tonight? Oh my goodness, tomorrow, Monday, I want to go back to work. And then, of course, you have lots of situations in your computer. You are thinking all the things, and then you're not relaxed. You're not noticed. You're not aware of this kind of distractions. That's why I'm saying young Yang in Tibet, yang means like don't recognize. I mean, distractions when you meditate. Oh, so therefore, awareness is very important. Okay. We have 5 minutes. Let's do it. Okay. Meditate. Again, don't think that you're doing something special. Okay. Just whatever. Just relax.